Hey everyone, Harrison here from Up360. I just got in the mail earlier today the Oculus Quest 2 headset, and I figured I'd take a minute to do a quick unboxing video, show you guys what's inside the packaging here, and in subsequent videos from this I will be doing a kind of first thoughts after using the headset for a couple of weeks or a couple of days, and then we're going to send it over to our development team and they're going to do a review of it from a developer's perspective. Now, just some background on us. We run a company called Up360. We develop content for both PC-based VR and standalone VR headsets like the Quest. We've used virtually every single type of headset on the market, from the Vive, the Valve, the Focus, all of the major ones, Windows Mixed Reality, you name it. And I'm going to kind of be comparing this to some of the others that I've seen, some of the others that I've opened, and give you guys my first thoughts. So the first thing you'll notice with the packaging of this headset is they've kind of changed the, they've changed the size of the box. So it's a much longer box than before. They've also gone away from the black branding to the white and black branding. And they've made it very clear to everyone that this is a Facebook Technologies product. A lot of people may have heard that with this device and other Oculus devices, you're going to need to use Facebook to log in. And the only exception to that is if you buy the business edition, which is basically the same device, just a little bit more expensive with some different software on it for device management. It comes in a little clear plastic packaging. Pull that off. And on the back of the box here, you'll also see a couple of the big experiences that they're promoting with it. Star Wars, The Climb, Beat Saber, one of the companies that Facebook also acquired. So it's not a surprise that they're promoting that on there. And then also Facebook's social VR platform, Horizon, if you can see that. So we'll slide this off. It's just a little sleeved packaging like that. Kind of reminds me of like Apple, if Apple wanted to go for more of like a green recycled look. This little case here is a thick solid box, very similar to some of the other stuff that Facebook has done in the past. And when you open it up, that's what you're gonna see. Headset inside and a little foam piece here to keep, actually a little hard piece here to keep the headset in place. Right out of the gate, this looks very similar to what comes in the box of the original Quest. You've got the little package here, which I presume is going to be your cables, your safety manual, that kind of stuff. You've got your two controllers, which do look and feel quite different from the other controllers. You've got a little adjustable, I don't want to break that, but you've got your headset, and then you've got that little adjustable bezel here. And yeah, that's everything that comes in the box, these 5 items. So we're going to take that, and why don't we put it over here? And then we'll look at these a little bit closer. So first things first, I always like to look at the controllers because, I mean, those are the things that you're going to be using the most and interacting with the most. These controllers do feel slightly different. Actually, I'm going to grab one of the Quest controllers just so we can do a quick comparison. All right, Quest controller. Okay, so looking at it, comparing it to the original Quest controller, there's a couple of things that are pretty obvious. The ring around it looks slightly bigger, which is interesting. Hard to tell if it is actually bigger. No, maybe it's the same size. Yeah, okay, no, so the ring around it, if it's bigger, it's maybe only 1 millimeter bigger. The actual part where you interact with your fingers here, you can see is slightly different. This is now a much bigger, much rounder pad compared to the old one, which is a little bit smaller. The side grip button here is a little bigger, and the trigger button is also a little bigger. So ergonomically, like, these controllers fit in your hands almost the exact same way the other ones did, but it does feel like these are maybe 5 or 10% bigger, and then I would say a little bit heavier as well than the original Quest controllers. So that's kind of interesting. I always found the Quest controllers from the original Quest did fit in your hands quite well. These also, right out of the gate, feel quite nice. I've got bigger hands, so I would say if I was comparing it to the other ones, these ones actually do feel a little bit better for me just because I have big hands. So those are your controllers. One thing's different about this, the batteries come in the controller. You've got a little pull tab on the back to just basically pull that and you're good to go. And the other thing they changed about this is the light is now on the actual ring rather than next to the button. So we'll pull those out. And they also have a left hand and a right hand indicator sticker on either side. In your little box here, you have your reference guide, your Oculus Quest 2 safety manual, a little bit bigger than the last one, assuming it's pretty similar to the last one. And then you've got a white cable and a white USB-C charging cord. So this cord actually, again, looks very similar to Apple. It has a bit of like a grayish, bluish tint to it. And I will say, compared to like an Apple charger, like iPad Apple charger, this does feel a little bit cheaper. It just feels like kind of cheap, flimsy plastic. So we'll see how this cable holds up, but it looks to be just like a standard USB-C cable, shorter than the other Quest and a little bit cheaper feeling than the other Quest. The controllers though, I will say again, these feel a little bit more sturdy than the other ones. And okay, they opted for a little click opener on the battery pack, which I kind of like. I always had problems with accidentally taking the battery pack off of the other Quest controller. So this feels like it will be a little bit more snug. So instead of a little magnetic one like this, where it just kind of easily comes off, they have opted for a little click opener. And still one battery, so no changes on that. In terms of the headset, there's a couple of little protective things on it. So you've got your classic little lens protector. I'll just pull that off and rip that apart like that. The strap feels very similar to the other strap. I'm personally not a fan of these. I know they're great for portability. You can just kind of tuck them away like that, but I don't really find that they're comfortable. You've got 2 films on the lenses. Take those off. And then you do have this other little white protective sleeve around the headset. So we'll take that off as well. The headset definitely looks a little bit thinner than the other one. It looks about the same width, but the thickness of it looks like it's slightly smaller. Or sorry, the width of it looks slightly smaller. If you're talking about going this way, it looks smaller this way and about the same thickness that way. The one big difference that I see on this right away is the audio. The audio spots look like they come out of these little hard straps. So there's like a little hard piece of plastic there. And you can kind of see a little tiny slot right there. That looks like that's probably where the audio is going to come out. So it'll probably help to make it sound a little bit better. It might make it harder to modify these with like the Vive Pro audio strap and those types of things because of the way that this kind of configuration is done. But I do believe Oculus has a couple of third-party things for this. So yeah, cameras on the outside. I see 4 of them, similar to the other. You've got your little charging port there. You've got a little audio jack there. The on and off button, I believe, is in a very similar spot. So we're going to turn that on. if it's charged. Yep, we've got some juice. And I'm just going to go ahead and put it on and just kind of go through what we see, and then we'll end it there. In terms of fit and how you adjust this, so there's a couple of little straps on the back with these little hard notches that you just move side to side. I actually kind of like that adjustment feature. It feels nice. It feels a lot nicer actually than the Quest head strap. It is a little bit tight out of the gate for myself. I've got a big head. But yeah, right away, I'm looking at a screen of two hands holding the controllers and pointing them, and that's what it wants me to do. And wow, I am right away impressed by the visuals of this. It looks very sharp. For somebody who uses PC-based VR as his main source of VR, this looks incredibly clear. The colors are nice, and again, the responsiveness seems just as good as the Quest, if not better. But the visual quality of this right out of the gate is really sharp. So yeah, so I'm gonna play around with this and do another video on, after I use it for a weekend, what my initial thoughts are on actually playing with it. But again, out of the gate, first impressions are good. Surprisingly, I don't mind this strap as much as I thought I would. And just putting it on, seeing the first couple of menu screens, it's impressive. It's very clear. I was just using the Oculus Rift S yesterday. I use the Vive Pro and all those headsets very frequently. And for a mobile headset, the visual experience of that right out of the gate is very sharp. Generally speaking, it's quite comfortable. I'm only using it for about 30 seconds there. Controllers feel good. They feel like they cheaped out on the charging cable here a little bit, but you get what you pay for. It's a little bit cheaper than the other headset. Like the packaging better. Like that it's not very complicated, not very hard to set up. So yeah, I'm going to dive into actually playing with this for a few days and then do another video after that, letting you know how I feel about this device compared to others after working with it for a bit. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon.